The female banker. I'm a female banker. My male colleagues are making me infertile. Oh, yeah. I'm a woman in banking. I'm a vice president and I am nearly a decade into my career in the investment banking division of a European bank in London. I'm at an age when you might expect to have a child. I would certainly like to have a child, but I believe that my banking career is making it difficult for me to conceive. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. When you're a woman in your mid-30s, fertility is not a given. That's because you're trying to get pregnant in your mid-30s. And the men you're looking for to be a partner and a father, they're not looking, the successful men after they've made the money. The men your age are not looking for women your age to have children with and settle down with. They're looking for women between the ages of 18 and 24. So you're kind of fucked. Anyway, let's continue. When you're in your mid-30s, fertility is not a given. If you're working 80 hours a week and are exhausted, conceiving a child doesn't necessarily happen as easily as you might think. I know, and I am not the only one to have this problem. For women in finance, the heavy workload, the high stress, and the lack of sleep not only make it difficult to find a partner, but are a recipe for hormonal imbalance and infertility. No shit. The longer I work in banking, the more that I feel that I am being made to make a choice, the ability to conceive or the opportunity to become an MD. So what she's finding out now is that she thought she could have it all, but she can't. She cannot have it all. She's really successful. She'd never marry down, or she'd never date like a builder guy or just a regular Joe, what has a trade, because that'd be beneath her. She'd never do that. She's looking for the top 20 in society, and the top 20 do not even looking at her. They're looking for girls between the ages of 18 and 24, 25, with no children, so they can settle down and have children with them. So she's saying that she's been forced to make a choice. She already made the choice. Once she decided what she was going to do, she was going to go into banking. She wasn't going to settle down and she wasn't going to have a child when she was young. When you're supposed to do it, biology tells, that's the best time to have children, between the ages of 18 to 24. That's when women are most fertile, most attractive. Right, anyway, she already made that choice. Let's read on. My male colleagues don't have this dilemma. Not only are they able to have children easily, often with women who work outside banking, no shit, but their ability to start families is making it even harder for female bankers like me to do the same. That's because you're career driven. You're not, what use, this is the thing you career women don't understand. You are no use to a man. If you're career driven and that's all you care about, and you don't want to have children until you're 35, you don't seriously start thinking about having children till you're in your till you're past 30, you're no good to a man. And all you want to do is pop out the kid and then pay somebody else to look after it. Men are not interested in it. Men want a wife and a homemaker and a child rearer. That's what we want. We're not interested in career women. You're useless. You can earn a bit of money. So what? It doesn't impress us. It doesn't impress us what your job is or how much money you earn. It's not impressive at all. We don't care. What we care about is a homely, motherly wife who's going to stay at home and look after the children. That's what we care about. And look after the house. Anyway. In the past few years, several of my male colleagues have started families. They all take paternity leave, usually for around a month, sometimes for longer. And when they come back, they often expect to work a bit less. As a case in point, I was recently asked to take on an extra project by a colleague who's a new father. He said he needs to spend time with his baby and can't work as much as I do. Well, there you go. I'm stuck in a vicious cycle. The more that my male colleagues have children, the more that I am expected to cover for them, and the harder it becomes for me to conceive. You can see why I'm annoyed. No, I can see why you're stupid. You're stupid. You made a choice. Now you've got to live with it. Buy some cats. You're gonna have to be a cat lady, aren't you? You fucked it. You made a choice, and that's it. And now you've got to live with it. It's time that this dynamic is openly discussed. Well, it is being openly discussed. Everybody knows it. Apart from women what want everything, well, you can't have it. Plenty of women my age in finance have the same problem. No shit. It's not considered appropriate to push back when all the new fathers, and there are quite a few of them, expect their still childless female colleagues to work harder than they do. Nor do any of these men take time to really understand the women they work with or to appreciate the sacrifices they are making for their roles. Well, that's a sacrifice you make. Yeah, that's a sacrifice you make. Men have been picking up the slack for pregnant work colleagues for decades. For decades. Do you just complaining? Do you fuck? We get on with it because we're men. That's what we do. Fucking moaning bitch. Anyway, you made your choice. Men and women are not the same. No shit. Women can and will work as hard as men, but doing so often comes at a tangible physical cost. This is why a lot of senior women in banking are childless. By comparison, most of the men in banking have children. Because it's the men what are not having children, and they're not having children with career women. They're having children with regular women what are interested in being housewives and mothers and staying at home and having with the children. That's the type they're interested in. Not you, what wants to work 80 hours and puts career first and doesn't want to mother, doesn't want to be a wife and stay at home. Men are not interested in you. You have nothing to offer. You're worthless. You're worthless to any man what wants a family and a wife and a mother for his children. You have nothing to offer. You are worthless. Some women in banking choose not to have children, but for a lot of women, it's forced upon them. Wow. But for a lot of women, it's forced upon them. Yeah, because men in banking need to be more sensitive to this and stop crowing about their children and expecting childless female colleagues to pick up the slack when they start dumping work on them and taking extra time off. Oh, dear me. So that's having a good old... I can't believe she's in her mid-30s and she's... and she still hasn't figured it out. How can she say that she's so smart and she's so, business minded and career minded, but yet she's so dumb? How can she not figure this simple problem out? So what we'll do is we'll go and have a look at some comments. Let's see what 118 responses. So, come on, boy, she's single and available. Who wants to be the one to jump on that grenade? What, you'd rather rife up a sweet, demure, feminine 24-year-old with a 2-year degree who works reasonable hours as a secretary, flight attendant, teacher or physical therapist, and who is looking to make husband and family, not career. Exactly. Her first priority. Exactly. Who's looking to make husband and family, not her career, her first priority? Yep, I don't blame you. Sorry, Miss McDonald, you lose. You see in the real world, unlike rom-com movie, exactly, decisions have consequences, so maybe start thinking about collecting some cats or going gay. Absolutely. How she not figured this out? And how are women still not... Women don't figure it out until they're 35 and they think, oh, hold on a minute, I've got to find an husband here. I want kids and I want a family. The men you want to settle down with, they don't want you. You're too old. You're worthless. You have nothing to offer. Right. That sounds like a frustrating situation, and a lot of people in these comments are so quick to judge your situation, but I can see your point. Society pressures women to pick up the slack and expect nothing of it, and judges women no matter what choices she makes, working, being a stay-at-home mum, or a mix of both. And it sounds like you have a lot on your plate already, working and planning to have kids. I think the best thing for your situation is to stop comparing yourself to your co-workers and find a way to make your life less stressful. Maybe you've been taking on too many responsibilities. If you can tell some of these co-workers that you're too busy to cover their work all the time, and you should do that, that's my advice. Well, yeah. And Kim says, I support anything that makes women or men infertile. Ooh, she's a real bundle of joy. So when women get children, it's not up to their male colleagues to pick up the slack. Exactly. Weak crybaby. Yep, that's about right. Oh no, a woman has to pick up the slack because the man now has kids and can't work as many hours anymore. Gee, men wouldn't know anything about having to put up with something like that. Well, she's absolutely right. Men have been doing it for fucking decades. Decades. Hey, Cupcake, ask your male colleagues who no longer work as many hours as you do, much less he earns as you do. How much less he earns and how much less likely he is to be promoted in the future. Mere wage gap. Yeah, exactly. That's where your wage gap comes from. You're not describing a fertility issue, you're describing the wage gap, which, as Jordan Peterson pointed out in his mothering gap, I called it at work gap. This is why women in numbers leave high stress, stupid hours of the high stress, stupid hours of the top 500 upper echelons at your age. The dimwits realise they can do something men can't and jump at the chance as the alternative at the mountaintop is so cold and lonely. Right, well, that's not really making any sense. They're really stupid. Continue to blame men for this beautiful choice they get. Patriarchy. Right, I don't know what that means. People who have kids work less, which means I have to pick up their slack at work. That makes me super sad. It's not my fault for failing to assert myself at work. It's their fault for procreating and putting their family's well-being ahead of my own. How dare they put the long-term health of their society first? Right. Here we go, look. Woman finds out work is hard, is upset men have the same opportunities as women, gets mad. Psst, you still don't have to sign up for selective service, but go on talking about how rough it is being a woman while you look at the landing of Normandy, stupid lady, which, yeah, it's right. Men don't have a choice to get pregnant, breastfeed, stay at home and have their existence paid for. So, yeah, basically, yeah, I'm stuck in a vicious cycle. The more that my male colleagues have children, the more that I am expected to cover for them, and the harder it becomes for me to conceive. You can see why I'm annoyed. And we don't care because that's a normal experience for men, exactly, for decades. Don't worry, Dean, money buys the freshest egg freezers, and after that window closes. Oh, after that window closes, the nicest purebred cat companions, exactly. Need to get a cat, love. So, females, like the author of this piece of feminist claptrap, don't want to endure the consequences of their own poor decisions, like waiting until their mid-30s to consider bearing children. Exactly. They only want to enjoy the benefits of their good decisions. Exactly. A smart and hard-working woman like this should have 6 kids. Nothing she does in banking will have made an impact on the world. But if she had fulfilled her role as a woman, she could have made the world much better by much better place by having and raising intelligent, hardworking children like herself. Exactly. It's a joke that women think a career is anywhere close to as important as being a mother. And we all let them. We lie to them about college and work and how that's so interesting that you want to do XYZ in your career. So many lies that we tell each other these days, and it's making us less human. Each generation more affected than the last. Exactly. Matt W has just said it right. Absolutely bang on. Yeah, it's men's rights, and he says, yeah, I cannot agree with you. She has every right to have a career, and she does. She's made a choice, and now she's got to live with the repercussions. She's got to live with the consequences, and that's right. But like he says, to blame all men is just ridiculous. To blame the men, it's just ridiculous. She needs to put her big girl pants and accept the consequence of her actions and life choices. Yeah, so I think we'll leave that there. When are these women going to wake up? You can't just turn around at 35. You can't just turn around at 35 and expect to have children and find somebody within a couple of years. The men she's looking for, they don't want her. She's like, I'll say it again. The men she's looking for to settle down and have a family with, because she won't date down. She will never marry down. There's no doubt about that. Not in a million years. The men she's looking for are not looking for her. She's way too old, and she's got nothing to offer. When are women like this going to get it through their heads? It's ridiculous. Right, I'll leave this one here.